Onboarding date conditions and associated settings. As part of your onboarding process, you can create conditions based on date fields. You can trigger steps to execute before or after a set number of days based on a particular date. For example, you can configure a start date reminder to go out to your new hire 3 days prior to the start date in the system. There are several things to note when configuring steps to launch based on dates. In this video, you will learn about the working day setting, operators for start date conditions, and how to configure a start date condition. As you can see from my breadcrumb trail, I'm in Onboarding Admin, Onboarding Settings, Working Days. Here is where you will tell the system what you want it to use as your working days. Working days, as you can see here, can be Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday, or variation. The system will use this setting to determine when to trigger a particular step based on the date condition you have created. For example, if I have a date condition that says I want my start date reminder to go out 3 days prior to the start date in the system, and that start date is on Monday, the system is going to trigger that notification on Wednesday of the previous week. Because my working day setting is only looking at Monday through Friday, those are the only days the system will count when determining when to trigger a date condition. If my working days was set Monday through Sunday, and someone started on Monday, and I wanted my start date reminder to go out 3 days prior to start, then the system would trigger that notification on Friday. Because I am including Saturday and Sunday in my working days, those days will be counted in my condition set. Next, we're going to talk about the operator for your start date conditions. So if I go to my process and I look at a step, and let's say for my step to preparing for your first day, I want to create a date condition. I'm going to select by conditions and hit create. Let's say that I want the preparing for your first day notification to go out 3 days prior to start. I'm going to give my condition a name. I'm going to look for the date field that I want to base this condition on. As we said, we're looking at the start date, so I'm going to go to my offer start date. Anytime you're creating a date condition, whether it be a start date condition or some other date condition, you're going to always use the operator is less than or equal to. It also doesn't matter if you want something to trigger before a particular date or after a particular date. You will always use the operator is less than or equal to. Now, when determining my value for my date condition, will determine when I want that item to launch. So like we said, we want the first day notification to launch 3 days before start. So in my value, I'm going to put in -3. So anytime you want a condition to go out prior to a particular date, you're going to use your negative numbers. When you want a condition to go out after a particular date, you will use whole numbers. So let's say I wanted this notification to go out 3 days after start, then I would just use the whole number of 3. Because I wanted to go out 3 days prior to start, I'm going to put in -3 and select save. Again, you're always going to use the operator, it's less than or equal to. If you want something to go out prior, you're going to use negative in the number of days. And if you want something to go out afterwards, you will use a whole or positive number to determine the number of days. So whether that be 30, 40, 90, 14, you would put in that information in the value. Again, you can create date conditions on any date in the system. Let's say that you created an orientation date user-defined field, and you want an orientation reminder to go out the day before the orientation date. You can use that orientation date user-defined field in your date condition. As long as that field has been set up as the field type of date, the system will consider that and you will be able to set up a date condition. Thank you.